Happy Friday, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Grade A Power Plays on the Grade A Fantasy channel. So before I get into today's 4-game slate, well, for this episode, it's really a 3-game slate because one game I'm not really going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about Flyers and Islanders, but let's get back into last night. Some of the picks that I recommended, also, even though I didn't put them on the video. Like I said, you always got to attack Anaheim's power play. I did like Rickard Rakell. I also did mention to stack them because, like I said, just like the power play point, I just thought it was a little bit too pricey to even mess with Crosby. So I was able to get... Oh, and the Erik Karlsson ladder did hit, so there we go. Reinstrom for Toronto. And I love doing different combinations of them. Here's a few shot on goal props that just missed, but they go Stroman for Toronto also. And they goes Rust and Rakell by themselves because they got to 128. Crosby by himself was over 200, so I was like, why not just correlate these two? So that worked out. And then they goes Troy for Toronto. There goes another one that tried to work out. The St. Louis Vegas game was pretty okay. Pavel Dorofeyev got the power play point. Dylan Holloway and Shen didn't combine, but Hurdle and Dorofeyev and Holloway and Kyrou did combine. The Boston-Utah game was pretty ugly. I think the only thing I did get in that game, was, yes, Morgan Geekie point. And then everything else was a complete waste pretty much in that game. And an interesting fact. So, y'all remember a couple of episodes ago when I focused on Nashville 1, I said Stamkos only ended up getting 1 point. Well, it seems that they looked it up, and 2 days later, I ended up getting this credited. So all the 2-point combinations hit. So the Stamkos-Forsberg came through. They go Stamkos with the 2 points that they credited, and Stamkos-Marchessault. I did every single combination for 2 points that day in the first San Jose game. So that came through. So that was basically like an early win for me. Now, let's get in today's picks. We're going to start. There's not much. Normally, I save the guy with the cover art for last, but we'll start with him first. What do I like today? I think Tyler Bertuzzi is a great pick. Now, I'm thinking about doing a mini ladder up to 4 shots. The only problem was, when I was putting these bets in, he didn't have a market for 4 shots. So, 1.5 is minus 144. Not too bad. This is not too bad, especially for the price that I put on. For a person in the last 3 games has 14 shots. So that's basically 4.2 shots, 4.2, 4.3 shots in the last 3 games. Plus, he'll be home. He'll avoid whatever the tough matchup is. And Tampa Bay still gives up power play minutes. So he's going to get some power play time to get an extra shot here. I love Tyler Bertuzzi to start off the ladder 1.5 to get the 3 shots plus 220. And after we go over this, we can actually check to see if they actually updated the points and the shots props, because he wasn't there at 4, so I couldn't get him. So that's what I got him as earlier. So we'll have to wait and see about that. As we continue going down, we'll skip over that real quick. I also like Bertuzzi for a point. I did this a couple nights ago. I singled him. He was plus money. Bedard was minus. The only thing I didn't like, and that's just me being picky, I thought Bedard would have been more like a minus 138, but it's still kind of Bedard. He came in at minus 167. I thought Chicago would have been bigger underdogs, but they're really not. But the prices were still decent. So Tyler Bertuzzi, Connor Bedard, plus 146. Before we move on to Vegas and Dallas, which should be just a good game in general, let's just go. Yeah, that's a bigger price because Tampa Bay was in the high 100, like 196. That has considerably taken a turn, so I already know some of their props probably increased or dropped. Let's go to Chicago, and let's see, did they put a shot prop for him? He's still at 3. What is his 3-shot prop now? Bedard was 106 earlier. It's now, because his props start at plus money with 2.5. There goes Donato plus 2.5 for 3. Bertuzzi 210. So that went down because as you saw, I got him for 220. Did they put him on the 4 shot? Okay, this might have worked. Show all. No. So we are kind of forced to just do a 3 ladder. He is not on there. So Bertuzzi 1.5. If you just want to do the 1.5, 2, which is the same price, and then go 3, that's fine. I'll put a little extra on it. Like I said, in the past 3 games, and it's not like he's had like one major game and then barely made it. He's had a consistent 5, 5, and 4. So basically doubling his prop. So the ladder's in view. And once again, 2 teams that are basically right next to each other in the penalty minutes. They're both right in the middle. 15th for Tampa Bay, 16th for Chicago. Chicago with a great penalty kill. Tampa Bay with a decent penalty kill. But they both have 403 minutes. So there could be extra opportunity for Tyler Bertuzzi. On top of that, if anything, they always overprice these guys, so we're just looking at Chicago, and the Chicago power play is something that has been riding hot. They've been losing some games, but they have been riding hot. So the power play has been pretty decent. It mainly comes from, in the past 10 games, it mainly all comes from Teravainen, Bertuzzi, Bedard with 3, Seth Jones, Bertuzzi, and Teravainen 4 power play points in the last 10 games. Only Donato with 1. So obviously, gamble is gamble. It's worth a risk. Is it worth it? Yeah. Plus 650 for Donato. But I'm mainly sticking with, and you could put Bedard too. I wrote Bedard in my notes. 270 is right there next to 300. So Bedard, Seth Jones, Tuvor at 470, Seth Jones at 350, the quarterback. I'm having him. And I'm definitely going to sprinkle on Tyler Bertuzzi. So that's what I definitely plan on doing there with the Chicago game. Nothing really on the Tampa Bay side, especially with them juggling lines. I don't think they're set yet. Chicago's set. They had practice yesterday. Like I said, Bedard, Bertuzzi on the top line, so that's all I really care about. Let's continue on to the Vegas game. Vegas played last night and won, so they're most likely going to stay the same. Dallas, obviously, last week they got some guys back. They also had props set up. With Dallas, they already have their line set, so it's Wyatt, Jason Robinson, Dodonov, Duchesne, Ben, Bork, and Rope Hinton still on the third line with Steele and Stankoven. Now, this is the second meeting between these two teams. The first meeting was a competitive 3-2 Vegas win at home about about a month and a half ago. And in that game, there was still, like I said, these games are normally always tightly played. In that game, though, shockingly, 2 power play goals. Theodore was able to quarterback both of them. One went to Hurdle and Stone. The other one went to straight up Jack Eichel. And Dallas was able to get a couple 5-on-5 goals. But like I said, now it's Dallas at home. But the top line is a little different. Wyatt's still a good player on the top line. I think that's good for the offensive side. But I think it's definitely worth the power play risk to sprinkle something on these guys. It definitely is. Now, it's Ottinger. Last I saw, it was Ottinger. And then it should be Aiden Hill because Samsonov was the goalie last night. Ottinger is already confirmed. So it should be Aiden Hill because Samsonov went last night. So that shouldn't really be an issue. And speaking of the Tampa Bay Chicago game, Vasilevsky went the last time, so we might have a Jonas Johansson, which is a significant downgrade. But also, I still like the power play points because Vasilevsky can be had on the power play. So now back to Vegas and Dallas. I have no problem going back to it, so I will. Hurdle, Dorofeyev, they're both pretty much almost even money. Both of them together, plus 184. That's went down because I do remember Hurdle was plus money earlier because I have it in my notes at plus 194. Also, I kind of do I think you can. It would be interesting to improve that entire second line when you add Victor Olofsson. 459 is interesting. If you take Dorofeyev off, obviously Dorofeyev and Hurdle, the combo, I already have that as you saw earlier. But if you take Dorofeyev off and you keep Tomas Hurdle the center and keep Olofsson, that's plus 277. That's interesting. But obviously Hurdle and Dorofeyev would be the stack because obviously they've been riding hot lately, and also they're on the power play together. Olofsson by himself, but he is on that second line with these guys. He's the left winger for Tomas Hurdle, the center, as Dorofeyev plays the right. When it comes to the Dallas side, obviously there's still some high prices here. But what I do like is once you get past Jack Eichel and the other guys, and you play the lower line. Like I said, Vegas is still good, but they're also a test to not giving up too many penalties, bad penalty kill. Both of these teams are on the bottom floor. It's just that Vegas penalty kill is 77.5, Dallas 312 minutes, 85.8. It's the second, or it's either the second, third, or top penalty. They're top 3 penalty kill. But things can happen. There's nothing wrong with taking a little sprinkle of some bets. So what I like here on this end, like I said, it's a top penalty kill. They've always been a top penalty kill for the past couple of years. If you want to sprinkle anything, favorite power play props. Without a doubt, because of the opportunity and who's there and where they mostly go, Shea Theodore at a 290 is a good start, and then you got Doro. You got Doro at another 450, and you have Tomas Hertl at 400 on the opposite end, and they're good prices too for their top guys. Jason Robinson plus 260. You get Miro, the quarterback, at 290, and then you got Wyatt at 300. When it comes to regular points on the Dallas side, this is another game that's going to be interesting on both ends. And if you want good pricing, I actually like Ben and Duchesne on that second line. Ben and Duchesne don't play on the same power play, but they're on that second line. They're on that second line together, and them together. Whoa, what did I do here? I was about to say, no way. That's okay. So them two together plus 156. That hasn't changed from my notes. So that's what I like from that game. Just don't know which props I'm playing yet, but power play props are decent. Just be careful. Both teams are very low in penalty minutes. It's just that if you favor one, you like the Hertl Dorfair of Shea, because yes, Hertl and Dorfair have been riding hot together, but they're going against pretty much one of the best power plays in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just take a look at my screen right. Oh, okay, there you go. 85.8, 85.4, 84.6. Dallas is ahead of Carolina's penalty kill by 4/10. 85.8, so you could basically say 86. 85.4 for Carolina, 84.6 for Washington, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's a risk. It's a risk. If you don't want to lose a full whatever you normally bet, I normally put 10 on the power plays, just so it's not a huge loss. You can put 5 on them. You can put 5. But like I said, in the first meeting at home, 2 of the 3 goals were power play goals. So things can happen. And yes, it was Ottinger and Aiden Hill. So we're probably going to get the same goalie matchup again. And for the last game of the night, this should be really quick. Odds aren't really too good, but we got Utah, Winnipeg. You already know how offenses go when they get into Winnipeg. It's risky to take some points there, because it could be hard to score there. As you can see, there's no value in taking a point at all. 2 points might be interesting. Vejmelka was the goalie, so I think we're looking at a Connor Ingram start, possibly. Not confirmed yet, but it is Hellebuck. That's likely. I just refreshed it. Connor Ingram is the goalie, so not Vejmelka. So we got the backup going. So the backup and a team that actually plays, and a team that actually is, remember, it's probably the best power play matchup here. 4th in penalty minutes, even though it's a good penalty kill, but 81.8% is probably mostly because of Vejmelka, because when we have Connor Ingram starting, he's basically giving up 3 goals a game at 2-2. Vejmelka, who's not starting, 90% save percentage, 2.5. So Connor Ingram leading on the 3 side, plus he's under the 90 at 89%. So 2 points are viable. I think it's kind of the same situation like how it was earlier in the week with Nashville. Possibly taking 2 points with some of these guys is better than taking their power play. Possibly. Actually, it is, because if Morrissey gets 2 points, 320, and Velarde's 300, they're, to me, the best power play odds, because they're both 280 on the power play. So maybe Connor Scheifele, Velarde. But before I do anything of that note, I must note that their last lineup, where are you, Winnipeg? Their last lineup had And this is confirmed. They did switch up the line. So this is today's line rushes this morning. No Ehlers on the ice. Okay, so now they got it back. Regular. Scheifele, Connor, and Velarde. Because the other day, because of injury, they had Velarde down, and then Velarde was out, so Ehlers went up, and then they had Iafallo up. So they're just about normal, just that Ehlers is not there. That's the issue. But you still got the main three with great power play odds. Is it worth it sprinkling the 2 each? Yes, the odds are pretty good. But if not, my favorite power play plays in this game, and they're still the same, Velarde and Morrissey. Both 280. Right there. They're literally right there. Ehlers, if it's confirmed out, then they'll most likely do not pick that, even though Ehlers on the power play. He was not at morning skate yesterday. I'm not confirmed, if that was like a maintenance day. It does happen in hockey where people do get maintenance days, or if there's something wrong with him. But yeah, there's some options right there. But my favorite 2 plays from this game is Morrissey and Velarde. And that is the end. Happy Friday, everybody. Good luck. Let's keep the streak going. Those are my top plays. This is Grade A Fantasy with Grade A Power Plays. Signing off.